Good morning.
Yo,
How are you this morning, Matthew?
I'm not too bad. How you doing?
I think I'm in a grumptastic mood today.
All right, that's fair. It's allowed.
It is allowed, and I'm feeling it. Oh, by the way, thoughts.
Hold on, let me switch tabs. Oh, that's neat.
Think that'll work?
I think so. Yeah.
Also, I'm going to pop one on to see what your thoughts are. If I need to hit him with another
Hey, Mitch.
Miach. Yeah, I feel like it turned out all right. I haven't sealed this yet, but I'm curious about your thoughts.
Okay, that's looking good.
You think like it matches the aesthetic?
I do.
You feel like it matches the OG?
I do. I think that fits in real well with what you're shooting for.
Yeah, they're just 2000X Skeletor
Oh,
lower legs,
that
and then just a
works.
pair of boots. Oh yeah, I was curious because Cassandra
Yeah.
was real bummed that I couldn't figure out a way to get the actual.
Oh, you can, but
Would have been a lot more like size work and stuff than I wanted to do. Also, I'm not saying this is what I'm going to put on this, use as the body for this head, but I also super dig it.
oh, that's rad. I mean,
Madness, madness, baby.
you got to put that on something.
Oh, I'm putting that head on all kinds of shit once I don't know if I showed you. I got a bunch of cool news heads. Also, I don't know. Do you need another pair of these? I know you were making Anaconda, but
I don't need another pair, so if you can use them, go for it.
I'm sure I can. I just don't know what I'm going to use them on.
Yeah, I've got a pair. So
You do have a pair. Okay. Um. So I is having problem.
okay.
I've got. I mean, I've talked about it before. I'm losing a player in 2 games.
Yes.
Um, one game, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll consider it canon. I mean, who wouldn't? Um, one game, I'm just gonna put hiatus for a while. Lobo Max Classified. I don't know if I know what that is, Mitch.
Oh, Lobotomax potentially.
I don't know what that is either. Um,
Lobotomax is a hella crazy GI Joe character.
that is the name is fucking buck wild.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember if
It's
Lobotomax
got a
was the
tip
one that
until
was
I
basically just the Predator, but nice. Oh yeah, Snaky Boy.
And last but not least, the only other one I have out right now. Like I said I got a whole bunch. I don't know if I've talked to you much since I got these heads in.
No, we haven't. I think I might have seen that one. That one's rad.
Yeah, it's for just being like essentially shapes.
Hey,
It's
you know,
it's really impressive what someone can do. Here, I'll just show them to you since it's the
oh yeah.
Pythonus head.
Okay.
Um, I packed all these away and now I can't find them. Put them in my let's Savage Dragon and a Trained Ocean had a small child together.
Yeah, that one we were talking about last week.
Can't remember how to switch these. Is it solo layout? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've gotten any more since then that are I think that might be it.
Yeah, I've got a batch coming sometime soon here. I don't think it was too many.
But yeah, so I'm constantly like,
Hey, Spike, hey, Shaggy.
Spike, Shaggy.
Gang is all here.
The Kane County. Please tell me it's like a county and not like you're down in like Tennessee dealing with.
Oh
a
no,
full of
it's
dipshit.
near it's King County, Illinois.
Okay, good. I had hopes.
Yeah, Dave's gone a few times. Big toy show thing. He keeps trying to get me to go. And
Dave is in San Diego right now, right?
yes,
He is in San Diego. I think it means whale's vagina.
at least at them. I can't remember when he was leaving. But
So yeah. Anyway, back to shit I don't really want to deal with. So I got this person who's leaving us, which is, hey,
yeah,
it sucks, but like I completely get it, and I am fully supportive, and I know that it's an absolute necessity. So the problem is in D&O, another person's character is like intrinsically tied, right?
yeah.
Shagamania. It's running wild, brother. I just hurt my shoulder doing that. Oh my god, did that hurt? Oh,
I mean,
oh god.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, oh. You can feel it in my fingers.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh, oh god, you guys are just getting crazy. Oh, okay. She talks like a Star Wars. It does. But it's played by like George Wendt doing the worst Chicago the Bears accent ever.
There was that tattoo parlor because they misspelled Chi Town.
If it was a bit, I would.
No, they misspelled Chi Town on a tattoo and then tried to put it off like it was intentional. So that they're like, oh no, this is the hot new like slang, and so they were giving anybody who wanted one a free Chitanwa tattoo.
Okay. Woo! Oh, by the way, this is what I was talking about. So after a couple hit, this still is remaining.
Oh, geez.
It's like actually off the body. It's like raised.
Yeah, that with I don't know if that's UV printed or pad printed, but that's not uncommon for that ink to have a little bit of a depth to it.
Well, all the color came off. It's just the black.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna have to try to sand it off.
You may, yeah.
I mean, hey, I would if I was younger, I would travel for cake, both the band and actual cake. So, I have this individual. They're like, hey, I don't feel a reason to change characters, which I'm cool with.
Okay.
However, like I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Like, what's the plan? And their response was pretty much like, I don't know, you'll figure it out. Which I get as a player because it's not really their responsibility.
Yeah.
As the person running the game, though, I'm just like, fuck me. Because it's not like they're at a spot that makes this easy. They're actually like out on a mission together. So I have to figure out how effectively to have it so the one character just doesn't come back, and
Right.
yet explain why the character who's been there the least amount of time does come back.
Okay.
So the character with the least amount of ties to the group comes back. And while the other player was playing like their third character in this campaign, that character had ties through their first character.
Yeah.
So like there was like webs of continuity, I guess, for lack of a better term, that was like holding all that together.
Okay.
And now that's not there.
Right. So what are the ties then that you do have?
They've been in 2 sessions, Matt.
Okay.
So they don't have ties.
Right. What are their ties to the character that's leaving?
They were essentially like a bodyguard for them.
Okay.
Also, they're a Kenku, which makes it even more difficult because Kenkus only speak through echolalia.
Oh.
I would say they have more ties with NPCs than they do with the PCs.
Okay.
And they're extremely private. And I wouldn't say standoffish, but they're just kind of trying to figure things out. So it hasn't been like they've forged like a super tight bond. It just, I'm really befuddled about how to kind of proceed and do them justice, do the previous character who was going on a hiatus justice. I mean, I have till the beginning of the month to do it, the first Monday of the month. But I am really, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
I mean, it does feel like you've got an opportunity at least to, thanks for popping in, Shaggy.
Shaggy, enjoy.
But yeah, it does feel like you've got an opportunity to set up, stuff for down the road and to maybe let the player kind of define some stuff.
I think it's hard though because that campaign's like 50 plus episodes in.
Yeah.
And so those other players have all that back in history and everything else.
Well, yeah, I think it's more just like, okay, these characters go off on a mission. Only one of them comes back. What happened? Why?
And that's the thing. I don't want to put that on them because I can sort of write this character out.
Okay.
In an effective way because of where they are.
Sure.
And make it like maybe a plot point later. So it just, I don't know. I'm just like struggling to find the right in on it.
Does the character that leaves, like command or otherwise force the character that's staying to stay? Essentially,
No.
like, you need to go back. Well, can you do that?
Not particularly. Because I in my understanding of the two characters,
Mm-hmm.
if the staying character knew that, they would just be like, nope.
Okay.
So I kind of have to make this character just disappear. Without giving the player staying's character a chance to have any say in that. So what I'm going to do is they're at that the Price Masters intergalactic yard sale, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
And they're just going to step into a stall, and basically the stall then packs up and leaves.
Okay.
And since like time doesn't really work very well in this type of pocket universe, whenever they want to come back, they'll just come back and no time will have passed for them.
Ah, okay.
So like that works.
Yeah, that works. So is it like is the reason maybe the reason that this character stays is because they don't have any they want to find the person who's leaving and this is the only resources they have.
I like that.
Because if this is a place that Snick is unfamiliar with,
Ooh.
um, and
Ooh.
they can do that too.
Or doppelganger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just write some of these down as potentials just so I can start to. That's a really good one.
You could work with that and have Leona come back as an NPC briefly, and then reveal that yes, it was actually
It was me all. It was me all along, Austin. It was me, Robert Downey Jr.
Don't get me started on that.
I want to get you started on that, Matt.
Oh, it's fucking. It just smacks of desperation.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but like, tell me more about your dislike.
It's just it. We don't. It's gonna. How is it not? It's just gonna be snarky. Tony Stark, just in a Doctor Doom outfit. Like
if he plays it as Victor Von Doom, I think that works. But if it is just Tony Stark as a bad
I don't
guy,
think that. But why then?
I
If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna have it actually be Victor, why would you? Like you're burning your. The reason to bring Downey back is because there's the perception that they need what he brings to the table. And it's not necessarily I think he's a good actor, but I don't think that's what they're after here. I think they're after the Tony Stark juice.
I hope not.
And I feel like if
so my only thing about this is if he does that, it makes it easier for what I think is going to happen is they're going to off him at the end, and the person who offs him is going to be the actual Prime Doom or the 616 Doom.
I guess he signed for 2 films. I don't know. It's just
I think it's going to be the 2 actual like Doomsday, Secret Wars, Doomsday double shot.
It just I don't know. Yeah. Bringing Downey back, and
I mean, if you're going to do that, just make him infamous Iron Man.
And bringing back the Russos, it does not signal that you guys are confident in where you're at. Maybe Leona has a thing to do, and she does not want Snick to go for whatever reason.
That won't work, unfortunately.
Would she? But maybe is she the one behind the doppelganger or the mimic or whatever? And she's trying to basically like, no, you need to, because I know you won't leave if I tell you to.
That unfortunately would be anathema to what that relationship is.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I don't go to theaters anymore, so yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mitch. I feel like this, at least, if I can get like two more solid ones to kind of choose from. Leon is a sentinel. Oh, how about this one? So the background big enemy in this whole campaign are these three banished gods that are trying to unmake the multiverse to remake it.
Okay.
What if she just suddenly is unmade?
Yeah. I mean, that ties in with your, if that ties, especially if it ties in with your larger plot. And then it gives Snick a reason to go again back to the core crew because they're already dealing with this.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get rid of, like, push that plot all the way back into the background for a while, but I think it also kind of all of a sudden out of the blue this happens would be like giant, like, oh shit, this is still going on.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't say no to Sketty. Or instead of a magic candle, one of the things about her is she is kind of a magical manager in a way, where she, like, on her world, she was kind of chosen to kind of basically manage the for lack of a better term, like the weave of that world, like the magical weave. So she's like a conduit caster. So maybe she's like just absorbed.
Well, there's an arc right now going in the Hulk series at Marvel, and he's kind of been befriended, or this runaway girl started following him around, and he's like, "Nah, go away. I'm the Hulk. I'm gonna hurt you." And this mystical deal like stole her soul and put it into a doll. And so now the Hulk is carrying this doll around, trying to find a way to get her soul back out.
Interesting. So I was thinking, like, did you read Johns' run on Flash?
Yes.
Remember when the Thinker wants to use the Flash as a processor? I like the idea of a magic user. Deuces, I'm out. Yeah, I kind of like that too. I'll put that one down as well, Mitch.
I mean, I think it could
like
be an interesting.
Like, she hears the call.
Yeah.
So I also like the idea of like a caster showing up who's just like crazy powerful, who just like touches her and absorbs her, and it's like, oh, don't worry, I mean, I haven't destroyed them, I just need their power.
Yeah.
And they're just walking around doing that, and they don't know why, which is kind of a very Metron thing to do.
Yeah. I do like the idea though of like putting the character into an object where they're not able to communicate necessarily with the outside world, but like, here's this thing that you have to protect now because this object is them. And maybe that's your workaround for the language barrier with Snikt too.
Okay. So I'm going to actually send this to the player who plays Leona and be like, what is your preference?
The other thing with putting them into an object or something like that.
Oh God, what is his name? I'm just a human boy.
Oh,
Because he's with them right now. An older version of that of him shows up and does that. Oh God, I'm for this. Joshua Bigsby.
yes.
So an older version of Joshua Bigsby, like a cable-fied version of Joshua Bigsby shows up. Okay, I'm in love with this idea as well. An older, more grizzled version of Joshua Bigsby comes out of a time portal and says, "Come with me if you want to live." And Leona goes with him. Whoever said that, you're a goddamn genius. That is so fucking so full of like the big dumb energy I love. So yeah, thank you. Who did say that? Super Spike, you're a fucking genius. Yeah, Joshua Bigsby is like, everyone loves Joshua Bigsby, Mitch. Your creation. Come with me, I am now a human man. Come with me, a human man, if you want to live.
Well, or do you have, is this future version of Joshua Bigsby actually human?
No. God damn it, that's fucking delightful. Oh, you guys were restoring my faith in gaming. I love the fact that you would say a human man. Oh God. Okay. No more than 2 more options. The jorts have become jinkos. Like, isn't that the natural evolution of shorts is jinkos?
I mean,
no, always shorts. Fair.
But it's definitely
fair. Mitch, as the creative genius behind this, you get to make that call. They're just grown up jorts. Are any other genius ideas, you fucking monsters? Hey Matt, have you ever heard Your Love Is Not Enough? I'd like some cool shit too.
No.
It's by Tom Cardy. It is
all right.
It is just a song about him saying, I know you, I love you and everything, but your love is not enough. I need some cool shit as well. Like a dog on a jet ski.
I mean, that is pretty cool.
I need a thing that electric thing that keeps people alive. What's its name? I can't remember. Oh, a fucking defibrillator. Oh God, it's so good. Really, really, really cool. I want a bear with a saddle. A Lego version of the Death Star. It's a dog in a jet ski. And it's like a very groove song. Like all of Tom Cardy's amazing work. Like an ice block and a chainsaw. Fuck yeah. All right. I highly demand everyone watch that.
All right.
I command it. All right. Any other? We'll leave this open. So we can come up with no more than 2 more. I'm fine. All right. Jinko's been shorts. Or Other compromise: one leg Jinkos, one leg Jorts.
Oh God,
That is a special crime.
that is something.
Also, if you're not just jamming out to Tom Cardy, you need to. He's so delightful. His songs, while funny, are also just bangers. Okay. So I was thinking about it, and I'm very much want to run playing GM, but
Okay.
in like another
Yeah, you've been talking
D&D
about that for a
game,
minute.
another D&D game, really? You kind of wanted to get away from a D&D game, but the setting is so fucking cool. You know, it's prehistoric D&D. You know, also I forgot there's another black taboo, no math.
Oh,
Well, no, it's not even no math. We already knew that because it's no numbers over 9.
right.
There was another one which I was like, oh shit, I never even thought about that. I don't know. At some point, I'm gonna have to like write down all the black taboos or make a reference sheet. So you know, there's a lot. Like I'm reading through the main book, and there's all this stuff about, you know, how to make. Because well, first it says like right off the bat, hey, this book, your Pangea should not be this Pangea. The moment you start a game, all bets are off. Do what
Nice.
you want. So one thing it does is like Pangea's got this crazy map, right? Like the center of the continent, because it's the continent of Pangea, basically.
Okay.
The center of it's this massive volcano, which is where dragons live. Around it is like this jungle that goes straight down, which is called the Verdant Abysses. And then you get into like Pangea proper, and there's like, you know, there's like plains that are the size of continents. And you kind of forget like how big it is.
Yeah.
And that while races and clans make like stops, they're still migratory.
Okay.
The only people who make permanent structures are dwarves, and they make them and then they leave them.
Oh.
It's like they have an innate desire to build, like they can't control it, but they also understand like I have to go. Like when migration of like animals and stuff happens, I have to leave because otherwise, like we may not make it through the winter.
Interesting.
Oh, and giants. The giant kingdoms are always stationary. And there's one city that all the other races have overthrown that was a giant city that they control. That the like all the small races actually have control over now. That's the only like settlement that's not controlled by giants that's permanent. Yeah, they're kind of like dozers. So you also have to remember like it does have a little bit of a Fraggle Rock vibe in some ways. So like elves are part dream because they haven't solidified on the primary plane. So they're like almost transparent because they're not fully there. Dwarves are still somewhat made of rock.
Yeah.
Because they've just been like they're a race that was essentially created by giants as a servitor race. You know, orcs are like the most revered race because they're stronger than everybody else, they're tougher than everybody else, and this is pre-gods. So there's no Groomsh. So they're not like tied to a god that's kind of like got a grudge against everybody. You know, like halflings are super secretive and super stealthy because they're small and they don't want to be food. And gnomes are like super obnoxious, like builders. And then there's a bunch of other races. There's a race called starlings, which are just like stars that fell to the planet. And they're kind of like your version of like Azamar almost. There's God touched, which are like, I think they're called God touched. I can't remember. I think they're called God touched. They're like your tieflings. They're either people who are blessed or cursed by gods. And their gods are a misnomer. They're just like very powerful entities. And like it might be I'm a god of this boulder over here,
Yeah.
or it might be I'm a god of a valley. But there's no like I'm the god of war. It's like I might be the god of conflict in this valley. But gods don't really have like this massive control sphere. And gods eat other gods to become more powerful. So my god might not be your god, but when I enter your like an area where you control, I would have to like pay some homage. Otherwise, bad shit might happen.
Right.
The other thing I really like is, when you're a clan and you set camp, you have a clan fire. And basically the clan fire takes the place of like a town tavern. The other thing about it is anybody's welcome in a clan, like hospitality means something. So if I show up to a rival clan's clan fire for shelter, they have to take me in until dawn. When the sun rises, all bets are off. So like I really like that like idea of like certain clans like elf clans move all the time and move erratically because they're driven by dream. Whereas like I said, dwarves like will build strongholds and then be like, I feel the perpetual need to move on and build something else. So there's like these like vibes going on. So my thought was, what if I used that as the setting, but then used birthright? Instead of like you're controlling like a kingdom, I didn't want to do that. You're controlling your clan. So like you're the big wigs of your clan. But so like someone's got to be the shaman, someone's got to be the clan leader, all that good stuff.
Okay.
So let's open this up. I don't know how difficult it would be because the idea in Pangea is you don't necessarily have to be to a clan. It's tied to a clan. You guys can just be adventurers.
You're right.
I like the idea though of like possibly even like just skipping the bloodlines stuff. Although that Highlander vibe is also something I really like. But instead doing like the seasons and everything, because seasons are crazy important in Pangea because you're following the migration of animals. So if your food source leaves and you don't also go south, you'll die. Like your clan will probably not make it. Also, there's these things where clans will work together when they all go south, even though they might generally be opposed. But it's also like they'll do these mock wars. Well, they're basically are kind of counting coup, like American Indians would do, like indigenous people would do, where it was like, I'll show you how great a warrior I am without spilling blood.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that as well. I don't know. I just thought it might be an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I feel like you could assign some of this stuff. I'm trying to get onto like the actual, because one thing I like about Pangea is Pangea, Pangea has reworked the classes, but not so they're unrecognizable.
Right.
Also, look at that cover.
Yeah, that's good.
It is really good. And I love the fact they talk about, like, there's the ape god. There's the three brothers. There's one who's an ape, one who's a lion, and one who's a bear. And those are like the three big gods. I love the fact he's like already got all these arms, but then he has like these like energy arms as well, which just screams like, do not fuck with me. Like there's all these rules on like, doesn't matter your class. like you can get animal companions
Oh,
and how important it is to have animal companions in Pangea. What is? I'm having so many problems with like my slides and drop downs. Like, look, I can't even get this to go over.
oh, weird.
It was the same thing with all my drop downs for StreamYard. It took me 30 minutes to get the Meng on Meng thing set up because I couldn't put 7 on the PM.
Jeez.
I cleared my cache. I did all this stuff. Nothing.
Huh.
But if I go back to 100, it's in the middle. Like this picture is awesome. Hey, I'm just going to ride this giant sloth, use it as cover so I can hunt something.
Yeah. As one does.
What was I looking at? I don't even remember. Oh, the different races. So, you know, in Birthright, it's primarily human, but I mean, you've got like dwarves and stuff like that. But with Pangea, also, man, this is a huge book. Like, I have the actual book. It's massive. Like, there's what dwarves look like.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're like Rocky Boys. There's what elves look like. You can literally see through them because they're still part dream, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh, the tieflings are called God marked.
Hmm.
Like I said, sometimes it's because the gods are like, oh, I see things in you, or you have done me a service, so I'm giving you this gift. And other times it's like, I'm cursing you. Gnomes are super like they're went like over, but
Weird.
I don't understand what's going on. There's orcs, which are technically like half orcs, but so the way they got around that is what we would consider orcs in 5th edition are like orcs who would become monsters, or Pangea orcs who have become monsters, are bred with monsters.
Oh.
Whereas orcs are, the Pangean orcs are like the best of like what the races have as far as like strength and speed and endurance. The only thing they start to mention in here, which I find interesting, is orcs have gotten to a point where they're like, why are we worshiping gods?
Yeah.
What have the gods done for us? We rely upon ourselves. Also, no metal, which again I love.
Yeah,
it's got that rule. I think I talked about this on stream before. You can break your weapon to exchange it for a critical hit, which is really interesting to me. So then there's this new race called, I think they're called the Dre.
Man, nothing to fuck with.
I thought that was Wu-Tang.
Well, that's true, I suppose.
Also, I don't know if you saw it. Somebody put a yard sign up that said Wu-Tang is forever 2024. My wife was, I think also there was one that said Wu-Tang 2024 protect your neck. My wife's like, we need to find this and fucking put it up. And I was like, we do. Dreas. Yeah, they're Dreas. So one thing I also love, there's like plant people, which kind of reminds me of the Wilden in 4th edition.
Okay.
So which were like plant people. Here's the other thing I love. It talks about in the book, forests are not set areas because most trees are still awake.
Oh.
So they just move. So entire forests are like herds.
Yeah, that's, oh, wow.
And that the world hasn't settled. So sometimes like, oh, no maps. That's one of the black taboos. There's no maps. And like it says,
yeah,
even if there was maps, it wouldn't matter because everything moves in Pangea.
Yeah.
Which is to me just really, really interesting. half ooze. So this idea of like you hapless wanderers meet an untimely end at the creeping pseudopods of an ooze sire, usually catching their prey asleep, and the sire slides into a mortal's ears, nose, and mouth, and once it's inside, it's too late. What awakes from that slumber is a new creature, a half ooze, half humanoid, being aware of only three things: its strangely malleable body, the dim memories of a past life, and an overwhelming hunger. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's
So one thing they talk about in like the beginning of this is like there's three kind of pillars of Pangea, and one is like wild adventure, but one I find interesting is horror. You know, you're in a world that is completely an anathema to your survival. Like that's cool.
yeah.
So and then there's saurians. How could there not be? Who wouldn't want to be a fucking dinosaur person? And there's sub dinosaur people: sharp fangs, leather wings, hammer tails, and web foots. Like hell yeah, Matt. Who would not want to be a fucking dinosaur person?
I can't imagine.
You should. Starlings are the ones. So that's a starling. They literally are stars that fell to the planet.
Wow.
So the idea is stars store and wheel overhead in a great dance, gossiping and arranging themselves according to a complicated political cosmology. As every night ends, they enter combat in a struggle called the Dawn Duel, attempting to knock each other into the sea of stars, claiming each other's light in order to become that day's great light, the day star. Very rarely, however, the defeated stars don't fall into the sea, but rather to a far more alien and frightening place, and that is Pangea. So the person that like narrates this book, so this is like D&D 5th edition has done this. I actually love it. Is a lot of the books they gave a character narrating it.
Oh.
So like in Volo's book, there's a lot of these things where Volo was talking. And then also Elemenster's talking and alternate things debunking a lot of what Volo's saying. Or like in Mordenkainen's two books, it's Mordenkainen talking about every monster he, in these entries, he's giving his own thoughts. And here it's a starling talking about their fall to Pangea. So like this is now we come to a very interesting the very most interesting part of all, at least as far as I'm concerned. Isn't the thing everyone loves best their own name and a tail? Another race I just find very interesting. Also, Goblin Boys attacking a T-Rex. Yes, please.
Yes.
So, and then there's the classes. So a monk is an aesthetic. I don't quite understand how that works because I don't really understand what an aesthetic is. But to me, it's like, okay, this matches like what a monk is.
I'm familiar with the term, or I've seen the term. It's just it's a self-discipline and abstention from all forms of indulgence. It's kind of like a monk in terms of in a more broad sense.
Barbarian doesn't change because come on. A chanter is a bard, which I do love that they give you this. Like, hey, we're going to give you our class and we're going to tell you what a bard is in our world. Druid and fighter don't change, except for in Pangea, druids are hated because most of what they would call gods are like nature spirits or powers. So they look at druids as like, oh, you're fucking with our stuff. Like you're competition. Uppity uppity being. Guardians are paladins, rangers are the same. Scavengers are what they call their rogues. Shamans are the clerics. Sorcerers are the same. See, it did it again. I don't know how, why. Spellskins are wizards because no written word. So they put tattoos of their spells on themselves.
That's cool.
Because they have to find these spells to then write them on themselves. Because again, the written word will draw the hounds of eternity on you, or whatever it's called, which will just destroy you because you're breaking the black taboos. Warlocks are still warlocks, which of course, like there's a god. Imagine you're walking through a forest and you find a place of power and you summon that thing and go, hey, I would like to pledge myself to you.
Please.
Yeah. So there's the classes. I mean, it's a really interesting thing. Flumps are basically good aberrations. They're one of my favorite monsters in all of Dungeons and Dragons. Because they're kind of just like, hey, I'm this floaty guy, just trying to help you out, help me help you. So let's talk about how we think that this would actually work, if it's even feasible. Would we have to eliminate? So we would have to reorganize class, race, special abilities, or just throw out the whole concept of blooded characters. So is there a way to kind of put I mean, again, I love this, the way these guys' attitude of like, the minute you start a Pangea game, it's your game. Like canon, there is no canon. So you could conceivably just be like two massive, like these massive, gods basically, or a group of gods like went to war. And they're gone, so their power has scattered out into the smaller gods, but also into some mortals. So that's where you can still do your Highlander bit.
Yeah.
And while I don't remember, let's take a look. I think there is a, of course, I can't even look. I can't even drag. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, weird.
It's everything too. I do not understand what's going on.
That is just bizarre.
I think there is a bestiarian. That's, oh God, Matt, come on. Dinosaur Cavalry. So this is where I think it was the Stone Giants who got their asses run out of this, and now it's the Free Citadel. So this is where like actually like a non-giant stronghold. So there might be a bestiary in here. I love another thing they're like talk about. They have a podcast called the Clan Fire, where the guys who make the game actually like talk about it, and like take suggestions off their Discord and the like. They kind of talk about okay, good. One thing to do with the monsters is look, see, it's doing it again.
What the hell?
It's so fucking weird. I do not understand what's going on.
Yeah, that would just drive me nuts.
I emptied my cache.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know what causes that. But,
okay. So did I? All right. They were like, "Hey, you want monsters to feel weird? Like, just change abilities. Like, give goblins the same. Like, give goblins caustic touch. Why? You can give any explanation why, but you want them to feel different in a world that's different. Do things like that. Very simple things.
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking because with Blooded in Birthright, the whole idea is like you were touched by the blood of gods.
Mm.
And you are looking because if you kill someone else who was touched by the blood of gods, Highlander style, you steal their power. So also in Birthright, like there aren't Gorgons. There's one Gorgon.
Oh.
There is not Minotaurs. There's the Minotaur.
Yeah.
So like certain monsters are just one thing, one person, like who is blooded, who's someone who went around killing other blooded and became a monster. So it gives you a reason to basically go, we're gonna go kill the Minotaur.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of like Wendigo almost.
Very much like the Wendigo, yeah. So like this is a god. It doesn't show a picture of, unfortunately. And Mala, we only know, and Mala's like this whale god who's like everyone is like Mala's pretty sweet. So people worship Mala. The ape god is called Ko Many Arms. Let me go. I want to find the bestiary here. Unkillable Urash is another god. I think Urash is the bear. Yeah, he's a cave bear god. Whose big thing is like party, go forth, like hold these giant celebrations to show how strong you are, both in like arms and smarts and good looks and drinking and overindulgence of food, like everything to the max. So I'm trying to look here for a basic monster that they did something interesting with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, as a Quetzalcoatlus.
I like Mitch's idea there.
I like that, Mitch. It's a really good idea. I was gonna say like when you kill a blooded, because I can't remember what happens. Let's pull up the Birthright. When you kill a blooded, let's see what Birthright says.
I mean, all the lights in the parking garage explode, I assume.
No.
And
Queen, yeah. Let's see. I have to read through this a little more, like, strictly. So you start to get abilities.
Okay.
So kind of like Mitch was saying. So yeah, like here they are, like awesome presence. But you have to get your bloodline scored to a certain level before you can start manifesting these. So like this gives you charisma benefits, especially against like other blooded people, which is kind of interesting. Like your ability to like lead, give orders. This one gives you initiative modifiers. I kind of like these, like almost using them like feats. This one's just called Death Touch. You can poison any individual water source of food that you touch. I believe these just get better and better and better as you go. Yeah, like this basically turns you into a tree while you recover.
Oh wow.
I think this really would work.
Yeah.
I think it's like here's the whole thing about fighting other blooded to become a like blood theft. So I really think this might be an interesting way to kind of smush these two things together. So and then like one thing I love about Birthright is this idea of seasons. Like, you know, you have your big adventure and then you have these things where you like have to like I don't care about taxation, province, this stuff. I'm more like we'd have to switch this out for like hunting, moving camps, you know, dealing with other clans, you know, keeping up your clan fire, because it's kind of one of the things is like if you have a clan and you have no clan fire, you're fucked. Like eventually like people in your tribe will just leave. Monsters come because it's one of the things like clan fires keep people away. They invite other civilized things, but they keep monsters away. But also, like every night, the shamans get together and the chanters tell stories to keep like everybody boosted up, and the shamans cast like spells. You know, so this would have to be like completely reworked event wise. Wise. Also, there's no currency in Pangea.
Okay.
Somewhere in the book, it gives like an estimation of like one gold piece would equate out to like so many pounds of food. So if I wanted to trade with you, it'd be like, oh, I'm going to bring you so much, you know, so many reeds, and you're going to give me so much food in return. It's a complete barter system. So a libertarian's wet dream. I don't know. I think this. Oh, Mix has got a hook. I think this could work.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's a great.
I like that, Mitch. Which is kind of the hook with Pangea, Mitch, is like gods haven't really formed. They're just like these very powerful spirit. I mean, again, God is a loose term who people gravitate towards because they're far more powerful and that they, you know, eat other gods to continue to be more powerful. So kind of like their own different version of blooded.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about like, what if the PCs in their clan is from like a valley where has been extremely safe, like it's been hidden, like a hidden valley. And this is when shit goes bad. Is this big fallout? They are basically forced out into the world.
Yeah.
Like they had like permanent residents in this valley, and by these gods going to war, it has ruined it. Yeah, I mean, I got to work on the hook. But this is kind of one of the things that I might run on every other month Monday nights. So my idea, Matt, and tell me what you think, is to Matt, when's you're out? I'm sure it's been an hour.
Pretty soon, but I got some time.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. So here's my thought. I'm thinking about doing it in arcs. So
Yeah,
like
I think you were talking about that a little bit with the birthright thing in general.
So
Yeah.
I might do like a Pangea arc, and then do like a Hellboy arc, and then do some type of Western.
Alternate.
Yeah, and then do some type of like Marvel game.
Sure.
You know, and just that way I can keep it like into 3+1 arcs. So it's like, okay, we do a session 0, and then we do three games, and then we move on to something else. And that way, if I have something that like makes me go, ooh, we can do that. And then
you don't have to wait forever or try and find a spot for it. You've got one coming up.
And that way, maybe I can like play some other games.
Yeah.
Like I was looking through, I think we may have, I don't know if it was me and you talking about it, maybe it was James and I. I'm gonna present again. Matt, have you heard the band Baroness?
Baroness? Oh, Baroness. Yes, I believe I have.
First of all, they're awesome. But second of all, the covers of their albums are fucking gorgeous. They're absolutely stunning to look at. But like some of these, I am I'm still interested in running our Hard Times 1987. You know, at some point I'm running fucking Mount Monsters. Like I don't even remember what this game is, but like the name makes me want to go, okay, what is this? That is a great cover.
Yeah.
That definitely has like a something that's killing the children vibe to it.
I can't read that name without adding ooh yeah to the end of it. So
I don't know if that was a Macho Man reference.
Oh no, the Jam, baby.
The Jam.
Town called Mellis.
I don't know that song now.
Oh, the Jam is great.
I think Bucket of Bolts is a single player like journaling thing. Yeah, where you're the ship. Like you're the Millennium Falcon. And it's about like what happened to you.
That's cool.
Yeah, I kind of also want to there's a couple of these I have that I kind of want to play with people like on the Discord.
Yeah.
There's one called Captain's Log where you're like the captain of a Starfleet ship. And it's just a log game. You're just making decisions and writing down what happened.
Captain's log, stardate, blah blah blah.
Apparently, yeah. But then, like,
you do because I'm a starship captain, they're making me keep the stupid journal.
Yeah. Like, I'm the idea of like you doing that and then treating it like a shared storytelling experience has me really kind of interested.
Oh yeah.
I still want to run Gamma World with I think it's like edition 7 that uses the 4th edition rules. What else was there? Like I know Colossal is a single player game, but now they've got multiplayer rules where you just live in a world where everything's huge. Yep. So like you're in a castle, but you're small.
Okay.
So like a room might be the size of a continent to you.
Yeah.
Still want to do Commons Rider or some other type of tokusatsu game? There's just so many. I have so many games. I think it was you because I think we talked about Electro Cube War, which I would like you to run that because you know more about Transformers than anyone I know.
For better or worse.
For better, Matt. Always for better. Okay, what is this? What is this? What's 50-50, Matt?
I mean, I'm aware of 50-50 as a, believe it was Peter Weller action movie that was not very good.
This is. I'd have to look this up. I mean, it looks like a super rules light game, which I enjoy, but not for like a longer play. Still like to do Cairn, which is a super rules light fantasy game. I'd like to get some Delta Green in my Hellboy and some Hellboy in my Delta Green. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that I'd like to get like at least a game of it in.
Yeah, just to see what, try some different things. And
Like I've been slowly but surely picking up stuff for this liminal horror game. That is interesting to me, which also might be something to do just because I very much enjoy liminal horror, analog horror. Which again is relatively 36 pages, not a massive book, not a huge game to learn. And it looks like it's laid out just like Cairn is. Also looks like it's pretty easy on like maybe one or two dice. But they have one, like they put out modules, and one of the modules is basically you're playing the movie The Thing in an 80s mall.
Nice.
And I'm like, that's a really interesting like smoosh.
Yeah.
A bunch of them are kind of like smooshes like that, where it's like, let's take the idea of a movie, but let's stick it in a very
different environment. Yeah.
Yeah, different environment. I also, because it went on sale, I picked up the manga version of I can't remember the name of the artist who's doing it, but he's doing Lovecraft stuff, and the art's absolutely stunning. And I picked up At the Mountains of Madness. I'll have to loan it to you once I'm done with it. I watched somebody talk about it and show art from it, and I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. Big hardback book. But he's also working on Call of Cthulhu and The Thing at the Door and other stories. So, Night's Black Agents, which I know has got funky rules, but it's been a while since I've read anything about it.
Okay.
Makes me, I know I remember being very interested in it. I think it uses Gumshoe, maybe. I don't know. Let's see if I can find. Is this it? I know it's like, hey, Dracula's a worldwide conspiracy and we're trying to stop it. Which I like settings like that a lot. The 1894 Network. I mean, come on. I think the idea might have been like Dracula ended up getting his foothold in London.
Oh.
And like they never were able to get him out.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to spend some time with it when I feel a little more driven to do it. Also, like, if you ever seen this stuff, Matt, and you're like, "Oh, this looks interesting. Why don't we play this?" Please let me know.
I should spend some time and look through some of those stuff because there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Miro is also like a liminal horror game, which I heard good things about, and I did the Kickstarter and got both of the first one and the second one for like $10. I don't know. There's a lot in here. Like I said, that I'm interested in. Shadow Dark looks awesome. I hear people talk about that it's a better version of D&D. It's a simpler version of D&D.
Okay.
Which brings me to simpler D&D, which is like 3-page rules to play D&D with like 3 pages of rules. I still want Matt to run Spirit of 77. The Zone has no DM. It's to be like a one shot. It's like if you've seen Annihilation,
I have not.
or The Thing, or games like that, where it's like you are in a situation, or Stalker, or Red Roadside Picnic, or it's kind of got that vibe of like a group of people going into a situation and you know you're not coming out of it. But like it has a lot to do with like body horror and stuff like that. But it's no DM. It's a lot like have you heard of a game called Fiasco, Matt?
I don't believe so.
Fiasco is kind of considered like a writer's room game.
Okay.
You have like a setting and a loose plot, and then it's like you do scenes together. And then like you make some decisions based upon how the scenes come out as a group. It's generally people always call it like it's a Coen Brothers style game. Like we played it at Extra Life a couple years ago. Zach ran one, and I played like a dumb high schooler. And towards the end of the game, people were like, "Who lives, who dies?" And I was like, "Oh, my guy's got to die. He's so he's dumb, and he's so far out of his depth. Like, there's no way he can live through this." This ship is a tomb. Kind of has like an Aliens vibe to it. Usagi Yojimbo, baby.
Ooh.
I think for Cowboys, for a Western, I might just use We Deal in Lead.
Yeah, that seems like a solid choice. It's got a little bit of the mysticism, magic stuff you can bring in there.
I'd still like to do adventure. Badass presidents. Barry Mary, the Great Lich Bake Off.
I know somebody played that at one of the Extra Lives to.
Oh, did they?
Christy, maybe.
I can see that. Just based off title alone, I feel like this one fits you. Danger Patrol. Danger Patrol's a great name.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Dungeon at the End of the Multiverse. I've always kind of wanted to play Everyone is John. It's like a one session 3-hour game with like 1-page rules. I'm seeing if there's anything else that jumped out. I love the name Low Country for Old Kobolds, but
that is great.
I played the hell out of Pendragon in college. I've read a lot about Righteous Blood, Ruthless Blades. Haven't played it. I bought it and was like, Why did I buy this? We'll probably never play it.
Oh, that sounds awesome, Mitch.
Brindlewood Bay. I don't think I'm familiar with that. We used Rotten Odds for that game in Extra Life. That was like a 2-page game.
Yep.
Solar Blaze and Cosmic Spells. Also a cool name. I don't know. Anyway, The Day We Leave Our Forest to Die in Beautiful Silence. That's a hell of a name.
Yeah, that's.
I know there's another one I have called For Small Creatures Such as We. All right. Anyway, that's just a quick look through the digital pile of shame of books. Matt, what do you got going on?
Not a whole lot. This is my off week for Chop and Shop. I don't know. We'll see what kind of condition Dave is in when he gets back. Anyway, whether how much streaming he'll be doing this week. And then I'll be back here next Sunday probably. Otherwise, that's me. How about you?
No game tomorrow because this month has 5 weeks in it, which is great. Tuesday is Mang. I think I might try to paint some of these heads. And then Thursday is the makeup spoop. We're talking about Tremors and the diminishing return of sequels. Which Colin's like, hey man, they're not that bad until after 4. I'm like, I don't know. We watched all of them in one day, right before the pandemic at Doug's house. I have feelings about them. But that first one is an unmitigated goddamn masterpiece of a monster movie. So we'll talk about that, and then I'm back here for preppy school. Trying to get a Stardew Valley game together to do a farm with multiplayer. I've been just fiddling around with Stardew for fun, and I have realized that I just want to deal with farm business and not like go mining. I don't really give a shit about giving gifts and making relationships in town.
I mean, that's
part of the game.
You kind of find your spot in any game, because like your version of Minecraft is not the same game that most people play. You just got your spot, and this is you like what you like.
I kind of like the grind in games. Speaking of which, Valheim is $10 right now on Steam. I would love to get a group of people to play Valheim. I don't know. Have you ever played it, Matt?
No, I've not.
It's basically your Vikings in the afterlife.
No.
And like when night comes, you can literally see the world tree where you're out on the world tree. And it is a survival, not even a colony builder, a survival like crafting, adventure. Like there's like there's monsters to fight, but then there's like big bosses to fight. You can build massive structures. Now you can build on boats. You can literally just turn a boat into your home.
That's cool.
You can have a Viking houseboat. It's pretty. It's not like my computer can run it. So if people are like, oh, I don't know if my computer will run it, it's not a difficult run.
Right.
It's a very pretty game. It's a very simple game. It's got fast traveling and everything. It's a very much like adventure-ish game, and when it's played with multiple people, it's a fucking blast. Because also you can all kind of go down different kind of trees of how you want to build your guy.
Okay.
Like last time we played, Doug built this gigantic, and I mean huge, like longhouse basically, and you have to like be careful because if you don't have a way for smoke to get out from your fire pits, you'll literally kill yourself. So he built this huge like open concept longhouse with a huge like opening in the ceiling, and so it was just like the smoke would just flow. It was so awesome. It's a very, 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 very fun game. I'm hoping I can get some people like Doug and I both have been like lately, like we should go back to Valheim and start the game. It's a very easy game to kind of lose a ton of hours in. But I'd like to like do a thing where we play and then we make an agreement like you can only play without everybody else for so long. Like you get like an hour a week, so you're not going in. Because Doug, who I love to death, will get obsessed and then go into a game, and next time you go in, he'll be like, I did everything for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I love Doug, but that shit drives me insane. And when I played with Doug and Carl, they would because they would be like, well, I'll play till 4 a.m. and then I'll go to work. So they would like, you'd come online and they'd have they would have killed like six mosses.
Yeah.
And they'd be all beefed up and you'd be like, motherfucker. So Doug and I have done better at that with playing V-Rising because I'm controlling who can get in when. So he can't just go on and do that. And what I do instead is I just go on and grind. So when he comes on, it's like he has all the materials he needs.
Right.
And he's like, I don't have to go get any materials. I can just do all these upgrades and then we can just go out and kill bosses. I was like, yeah, I mean, you hate grinding and I don't mind grinding. It's mindless kind of fun. So Valheim would be awesome for that type of game, I think. Same thing with Stardew. I would love to do Stardew because of that, where you can just go on and you're just farming, just deal with your animals, just doing that fine business, and then having people who go, hey, I just want to fish. Perfect. You're fishing. Yeah. I just want to chop down trees. Fucking awesome. You chop down
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to go into the mines and kill monsters and get stuff. Perfect. You do that. I'm going to farm. I'm going to make best farm. I'm going to make best farm, best trees. I'm going to do all farm all day. Also, there's like all these mods for Stardew I wasn't aware of. There's a mod that like triples the size of the game and like adds another town and all that shit.
Jeez.
Which I'm all like, increases the amount of people you can interact with, increases the amount of people you can potentially marry from both sexes, that's one thing I love about Stardew.
Yeah.
Stardew's like, you marry whoever the fuck you want, as long as they're courtable. You have as many children as you want. There's also a mod that lets the children grow up so they're not eternally a toddler. So they don't look the same. So you can't just have like two children that never grow up like tiny vampires. I'm all about that. Story of my life. I just want to stare into the void. You got it, bud. So that's what we got going on. I hope you all have a good remainder of your weekend. I'm sorry.
Enjoy your work, and I hope your personal life is as weird and wonderful as you want it to be, Mitch.
Yes. Mitch and I talked about that yesterday while we were watching A War in the Stars between Doug and James, which was I found out that James gets more angry at digital dice than even I do, and that just made me so happy. And that Doug will walk through every fucking decision he makes in a board game like this, and it's delightful because he starts to think James is tricking him into doing things, so he's like second guessing everything, and I'm just like, this is wonderful. Like the story this game is telling, like Doug is playing the Empire and he brought the fucking Death Star to Kashyyyk, and I was like, are you gonna fucking murder Kashyyyk? He's like, I don't have the ability to do it right now.
But If I
But I
did.
am going to keep the dirty rebels off Get Chic. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Also, I mean, I think there's a mod where you can now marry Krobus. And I don't know if you know this about Stardew Valley, but I loves me some Krobus. Krobus is the best boy of all time. He lives in the sewers, and he has cool ass stuff you can buy from him every single day. And he's a shadow person. And
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're not the only one who loves Krobus.
he loves void mayonnaise. He loves it. I think he loves diamonds too. Oh, there's also a mod that lets you like look and not have to get the Wikipedia up all the time to see what people want. Because like there's like 30 people in the base game, and like I don't want to give them shit they hate. Like I accidentally gave the fisherman dude whose name escapes me bait the other day, and he was like, "What's this? Why are you giving me this?" And I was like, "I don't know. It was an accident." Now he's got like he doesn't like me as much. That upsets me. All right. Anyway, the moon drops. People are like, "Oh shit." Yeah, I think all three of us, Mitch, were in the same boat. Jason Bateman. Spike. All right. Bomb us to all.
Yes, Bombus.
May your bomb us be blessed. Remember, we love you. And